For this demo, to prep what we want to do next, we are going to make an 8-inch by 10-inch rectangle in the middle of a 9-inch by 12-inch piece of paper. You'll definitely want to do this in pencil, keeping your lines as light as possible, per usual. A ruler, doesn't matter what kind. If it goes to 12 inches, that is pretty typical and definitely helpful. I'm going to use one of these pens, but again, you should be using a pencil. I'm just trying to make this easier to see by the camera. I do want to note that, short side and long side measurements between drawn rectangle and a piece of paper are what we want to pay attention to. So if I get to my 9 by 12 inch piece of paper, it's just a little bit bigger than printer size. Out of habit for me, I tend to do the short side first, only because it is habit, not because it's right or wrong. I do want to take my ruler and make sure it's lined up along the bottom and at 0 and not like this. That would be a little strange. I will begin by realizing that if I want, and do not write in the middle here, I'm just doing this for a demo. So if I want an 8-inch wide rectangle and my piece of paper is 9 inches wide, I have to find the difference between these two numbers. And that difference, fairly simple math, is 1 inch. Now, I can't come in 1 inch because then I don't have a border all the way around. So what I have to do with this 1 inch is I have to divide it by 2, which means I need 1/2 of an inch on either side here. So from 0, I will come in by 1/2 of an inch. From 9, I will come in by 1/2 of an inch. So at 1/2 and 8 1/2. I'm going to slide my piece of paper down. I will do the same thing up here, making sure there's about equal space. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect, but it does need to be at 0 on the what is my left-hand side. So 1/2 of an inch in from either side. Next, I will rotate my piece of paper. And basically what I have is 2 dots. And I'm basically, the way I like to refer to it is connecting the dots, right? Now I'm going to try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone here, because if now I want a 10-inch rectangle and I know that I have a 12-inch piece of paper, the difference between those two is 2 inches. But if I divide that by 2, that gives me 1 inch. So on the short side, I have 1/2 of an inch between my rectangle and my piece of paper. On the long side, I should have 1 inch. And the way I kill 2 birds with 1 stone is lining up my ruler with the left-hand side of my paper, making sure that my marks are just right at the end, checking and making sure my pencil will line up with those. I will come in by 1 inch there. I will come in by 1 inch here, and then I can draw a line between those 2 points. I know my mark is over here, right? I can see that, but I don't need to go all the way to there. You can go all the way left to right if you want. It won't impact the drawing, clearly. Now I'll move my ruler over here, making sure I am flush with the edge on one side, and then I will come in, put a mark at 1 inch, come in by 1 inch over here, so it's at 1 and 11, and I will draw a line between those 2 marks. Right. And then from here, I'm almost done. I will connect the dots for my vertical or short sides, right? And I should have a perfect rectangle perfectly in the middle of my piece of paper. And what this does is it helps us keep a border, which will help protect the drawing a little bit, and it gives us a defined area to work within, knowing where our image will end at the same time. And it looks a little bit more professional, will be easier to mat or frame, all of those fun things. And this 8 by 10 size is standard, so when you wow the parental units, you can give them something easy to frame at the same time. So this is 8 by 10 rectangle in the middle of a 9 by 12 piece of paper. Again, do yours in pencil, not in pen, and have fun.